Am I on?
Yes.
Yes.
Am I on now?
Yes.
Can you see me? Or, okay, I can see. All right, so now we have on Ronnie Payne and Dr. Jones. So we're gonna wait just a few moments as people are logging on. It's so interesting with my work with uh, the Department of Education. A lot of money is going back, and I had an opportunity to look at a lot of grants. I sent them all back. So that's how come eventually I'm gonna have Dr. Jones talk about how to study and how to follow procedures. So this is gonna be more or less about who has the money, who's gonna get the money. So you know they always say as a board of directors, it's always about give, get, or get off. So some people are gonna be jumping in and out. So let's just give it a few moments. But I think Mr. Payne, are you the one
Yes,
who I
sir.
spoke to? Are you the one that I spoke to?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so tell us a little bit about so you 83, right?
I'm sorry.
I said, Mr. Payne.
Yes. Can you hear
So
me?
you're the one that I spoke to, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
so you're the one who's 83, right?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. So this tells us about your interest in developing things for the community.
I am an 83-year-old person that still has an interest in um, development and particularly in the area of real estate. Um, I've been working with a firm that may be known. There's a national developer by the name of Lee Arnold, who calls himself a real estate guru, and he is that. Under his umbrella, there is a funding company called Kogo Capital. Kogo Capital is sitting on a lot of money, and I mean a lot of money. And he's begging affiliates to find deals and with an ability to commit to funding that you can get the money. So what? Yes, I'm sorry.
And so that's the interesting thing that I'm going to be talking about.
Okay.
About property, how to invest in it, and things that can be done. So we're on a major campaign for estates, trusts, and wills. So that's how Penn gets its money. They find out who's dying, who's doing what, and they become your trustee. So that's an interesting thing. So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
At the end of the year, do you give away do you pay taxes at the end of the year?
I'm literally just starting this work here. So I don't actually have a business in place today, but I can have that in a matter of a week. I don't have it in place today. So the answer to that question is no, I don't pay taxes from the business because the business doesn't have any money yet.
Okay, and so we also have on the line Quanda Howie, and she started a residence home and has expressed interest in getting other buildings for residents. Is that something that you would be looking at, like in terms of affordable housing?
We can do that. That's not the preference. The preference is clearly on individual. Now, the company has recently decided that it will fund multifamily homes. But again, their assumption is we will fund and get it ready for the market. They are not interested in they will do mortgages, therefore.
Okay.
But the real issue for many of us has been getting properties ready for move-in readiness and having that as a viable thing for people who look like you and me. And so what we are trying to do, and what I'm really prepared to do, is to talk about properties that we really can call affordable housing. So what we used to call row houses, we are now calling them what do we call them? There's another name that just went away from me. By the way, one of the things that I will acknowledge right up front, have a little bit of dementia that's coming in, So there are some things that I'll hesitate on for a minute. But townhouses is the term I was thinking. We call them now townhouses. So I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So just as an example, what I'm looking at right at this moment is a townhouse in Philadelphia is typically a 1-bath, 3-bedroom property that's probably between 1,000 and 1,100 square feet. And that's kind of what it is. Those houses 5 years ago, you could get a townhouse easily and move in ready for $100,000. And they would go up to 135, some up to 150. They would probably have basements and have some development going on in there. But those properties are now pushed up, and we are at a point right now where it's going to be tough to put properties, do any renovations, and get properties on the market for under $150,000. Now, that's where I think we really have to decide at what is the price point at which we really talk about affordable housing. And I recognize that in many instances, there are people who are doing well and they want to upgrade. So we want to be prepared to work with them as well as they move out of the townhouse and go into single family homes with some of the amenities that they always wanted and whatever. And certainly there are properties around that meet both of those qualifications. But what I really want to do is to do a serious, I want to take a zip code or two. And for the moment, I'm particularly interested in Germantown in 19144 and Mount Airy 19119. I really want to, and I have not had this conversation with Cindy Bass yet, but I want to talk to Cindy Bass, and I want to really get an understanding of what she would like to see in the two major zip codes in her district. And let's see if we can't put something really meaningful together. There are a lot of vacant. I used to walk every morning, at least 5 days a week. And so within 2 miles of my house, I know about a lot of properties that have been vacant a long time, and I'm seeing things. And so that's where we are, and I want to develop some relationships. And so the first thing that's important for me right now is a contractor or two who has a reputation and can pull permits and do good work. We can keep them busy.
All right. So, Douglas, are you on? Douglas.
Yes, I'm here, Dr. Henderson.
All right. So now you're going to be hearing from a lot of people who are alumni of the nonprofit institute. And to say that, so we do have registered contractors, and one of them should be on, and we're going to send that to you. But you do have the president of Chu and Shelton, the Germantown area, who's on the line. Douglas, introduce yourself.
Yeah, how you doing, Brother Ronnie and everyone? Douglas Walker from the Chu and Shelton Community Development Corporation. It's so ironic that he was speaking about 19144 and 19138. Our area is considered in the Planning Commission a pink area, which means an area of growth. And I do confirm that it is a lot of vacant property. We are working with the business quarter, establishing the business quarter, because 90% of those commercial properties on the 5600 block of Chu Avenue are African-American owned. And that is a great concern of ours. We are aware of the gentrification and that's being implemented by LaSalle University. No, the same thing that is at Temple University and University of Penn and Drexel with that issue. So I own a commercial property there, which we're trying to renovate and turn it into a youth center. But nevertheless, I do agree wholeheartedly. We have had some conversation with Cindy Bass, especially dealing with the RCO issue in our community, because there is a lot of development going on all over in every little pocket right across the street from me. They're proposing to build 104-unit luxury apartments. Rent probably would be anywhere between $1,500 to almost $2,000 a month in this community. So yes, Mr. Ron, I would definitely love to connect with you, because that is our vision. That is our community vision, to really get this Chu and Shelton business quarter or business district up and running. There's a lot of capital funding that's available, but it is a lack of organizing the people who own these commercial properties. I don't believe a lot of people believe that what has happened in North Philadelphia and in West Philadelphia, the gentrification or displacement is going to happen here. But I've been seeing a lot of our Caucasian brothers and sisters around in this neighborhood, and I've been here since 1968, and I've never seen that many. The only ones that we ever seen here were the students and staff from LaSalle University. Well, they actually have homes around the corner from me, down the street from me. And so I just believe that if our community would just unite and organize, we could be able to control our destiny, especially concerning these commercial property, because it is a pink area, it's a growth area, and they want it.
And so Dr. Jones, are you still on? Dr. Jones?
I'm here.
So now, now, Dr. Jones, you're in Villanova, right?
I am.
And are you in the School of Engineering?
I am.
So tell us about what you do in the School of Engineering.
Well, one of the major things I
Can
do.
you hear me?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm an associate dean in the College of Engineering, and my major responsibility is student retention, making sure that students have all the support, counseling, tutoring, mentoring, parenting to make sure that they actually stay in the College of Engineering and graduate. And I also work to increase the number of African American and Hispanic students in the college. And as they come, make sure they're supported and that we have, the financial needs of those students met so they're not stressed within the college. I also recruit, in a way, students to come to Villanova through a couple of I have a Saturday program for engineering students. I have a summer program where students stay on campus for a week. So we're trying to increase overall the number of engineering through what the colleges are doing, and also the National Society of Black Engineers has a mission to double the number of engineers in the country. Right now, we only represent 5% of all graduates in engineering on an annual basis. So there's a lot of work to be done. And every student that's lost from engineering is a tremendous loss.
And so I was your students, do they do volunteer work, service learning? Can they do business plans? How would they be able to assist us?
So I'm on the engineering side, but we do have students in the business college that volunteer in Philadelphia. They actually do tutoring programs, and they go in, or sometimes they bring students out to the campus as well. And they are involved in entrepreneurship on campus. So those would be, I would think, some of the students that might be interested in doing something around that.
And so the reason why I ask is because a lot of times, so every 5 years, nonprofit organizations should be able to have an evaluation, and so those are often done by graduate students as a part of their paper. So I'm going to ask Zoe. Zoe?
Yes.
Can you pull up on screen where it says the evaluation by Dr. Hadeen Beverly?
Yeah, I'll see if I can find this.
And so while he's looking for that, so what the major thing is, what I learned is that now we're looking at LaSalle and St. Joe's, and so St. Joe's just did a public service announcement for you. Hello, Children Shelton. Hello.
Yes,
So
I'm
did St.
here,
Joe's do it?
Maurice.
I'm sorry. How has LaSalle assisted you? Because so that's one of the things I'm looking at. I'm trying to get. I'm going to work with a private.
LaSalle Nonprofit Center, which is right up the street. I can get there in about 8 minutes walking. We have just finished a program, a partnership summer with their communication and PR class, the graduating students. I have been able over the last year and a half establish a very good relationship with LaSalle Nonprofit Center. Now, LaSalle University, with a new president, we are beginning conversations with State Senator Art Haywood and State Representative Stephen Kinsey about some of this money that was allocated to them. That some of that money is supposed to be going towards the community effort here as a part of this plan that they had. I was a part of that. But anyway, our relationship is budding, but I am aware of the long haul, and I do see LaSalle University gradually. They brought up about 5 homes on the 5500 block of Crosser Street, which is right around the corner from me. So I understand what they're doing. I'm just I'm trying my hardest to get my community to be more engaged in what is happening. So I'm not like disillusional about none of it because I've seen it happen already. But in a general sense, I think the partnership with LaSalle and the Children's Shelton CDC is right now, I can say it's at a wholesome space.
And so I say that because now, you know, and I'm going to show you all what a community benefits agreement looks like. So at Penn has the 6 and they have the Nether Center and they have the Impact, and that's their community benefits agreement. So I'm going to be showing you and Kwanda. So can you pull up the community benefits agreement?
Yeah, is this the analysis that you were talking about?
No, yeah, that's it. But I'm sorry. Let's go to the community benefits agreement. So every time that somebody moves, every time a business moves into your neighborhood, this is what it is. Don't argue with them. You know, don't say this or that. You have to come with a community benefits agreement. So, such as the casino that's down there on Penn's Landing, near Girard Avenue, they give $3 million a year to the nonprofits a year. So a lot of them don't even have to ask for money. So I'm going to show you a lot of times when folks come in. So this says the community benefits agreement, and when folks come in, this is what the type of thing that you should go and ask for them for. But it also tells you that you want them to have 20% of minority representation. But if you don't check on it, it's not going to happen. So Kwanda, she has somebody across from her that has a property, and somebody at the corner who has a property. So what needs to happen is that the block captains needs to just go to them and present certain information to them, but you have to know who they are. So we found one Asian organization that tried to get property at 40th and Market, and so we gave them a community benefits agreement, and they said that we tried to extort them. So somehow they got it passed, and we appealed it. We held it up for a year, and now they no longer have it. So you can even if they have all these different organizations come in and approve it, you can appeal it. But you need to start having a community benefits agreement, and that's so if you don't present it, then they won't do it. So they asked Jania Gunther, the councilwoman, about a community benefits agreement. She said, "What is that?" So none of the councilmen are using those type of things. And so when the elder, he said that he had wanted us to do affordable housing, then we have to be sure that everybody is mostly Black and compliant. So now, so when I was looking at Kwanda, that's what we have to go and take to the state rep, the state senate, and the councilman. How come they didn't ask for this? Can we still ask for just certain things? So a lot of times we have to do things in writing. So when you mentioned Cindy Bass, I will make sure that my people get on there and then do the evaluation about because Germantown is really different.
Yeah, it is different. Dr. Henderson, I'm very sorry. I just want to remind you that a community benefit agreement This is something I'm on the job training. A community benefit agreement, which we had for this other property, is not enforceable. But you need to get this is what you need to, because I do RCO all the time. What you need to get is something called a provost or provis. I can't pronounce it. Maybe Dr. Jones can. It's a provost. That's enforceable. A community benefit agreement, a lot of times why you have these issues is because the contractor said, or the developer said, yeah, we'll do this, write it down, but it's not enforceable. Derek Clark, councilman, tried to make it enforceable, but the one that is enforceable is called a provis. I'm not pronouncing it right. Yes. This is a meeting that we had about 3 weeks ago. Is the community benefit agreement? I thought it was the grand chip, but it's really, really something that the honesty and the integrity of the developer, it depends on that. But the other one, if it's signed, it has to take place. So I don't want to kind of like take over the time, but I'm just telling you some real experience that I'm having right now in the Germantown community. And a lot of this stuff
Okay.
is with
All right. So
yes, that's okay. That's all.
yeah, right. Yeah, right. But so even if you're right, because even after they say that they're going to do the community benefits agreement and then they don't do it, it's not enforceable. I got you.
No, it's not. Yeah.
May I ask a question? Could I ask a question?
Yes.
What is the purpose of a developer coming in to, when you say now you have to sign a community benefits agreement, is there a difference between a commercial application versus housing? What would you expect from a housing benefits agreement? What would be in that?
Okay. So, so that means the contractor, well, our contractor is black, but has to have like 50% minority.
Okay. All right.
And then so we're hoping that a woman is included, a senior is included, a veteran is included, somebody on welfare may be included, somebody with an intellectual disability may be included, a foster child may be included. So it's skills, and then so now we're saying that it's also a skill so that they can get certification. So it's a learning process. So that means that they're not just building, but they also can do apprentices and go towards the union. So it's an educational process. And so it's not like when you bring the Latinos in and they just build and build and build. No, it's an educational process. And then when they see us doing the right thing and have people from the neighborhood work, then they'll be able to come in and ask you to also do this and to do that. So out of sight, out of mind. And so now what it is. So we have that people that work on housing and then that kind of stuff, they can actually get associate degrees. So it's a learning a process that's really really that we're saying, and so it's a career opportunity. That's just available. And so that's like saying, like some of the kids who have to do community service, they may come out and work on the project. And so it's several tiers, and being able to do this. So just for like a residential thing, we're just saying, people who are our color, because there are a lot of builders who they have a black woman has 51% and they have 49%, and they just give her money just to use her name. So that's why. So the process for me is to so I'm going to say that my contractors that come in, they have all types of credentials that can be checked on, and then that's very, very, very important. And I don't mean to be special or funny, but if they're not a part of organizations, then that means that they are not completing CEUs every year. So they got to be a part of an organization. So that's one thing that it is that we're looking at. Now I can tell you something. One of my friends is now the state commissioner for commerce. So now I know where all the land is. I know who is doing what. So if we have to go to anyone, we have to go properly with the documents and be very, very, very clear. So a lot of my folks are very, very trained like so a lot of us have gone to school. So I went to LaSalle management program. I went to Drexel and I went to Penn, and I learned a lot of things. And so when you go to these here programs, like LaSalle nonprofit program is good. And so a lot of things that we learn is something totally different. So LaSalle is good, Drexel is good, Penn is good. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to see what can we get from Villanova. So one of my friends, he had a house, a big house right down the street from St. Joe's, and we never even thought about getting that house. We never thought about getting schools. We never thought about getting old factories. And so now, those are the things that we're going to start thinking about. So I'm saying, if we go to Cindy Bass, let's go to her correctly. And whatever problems that Chu and Shelton went through, that's something totally different. So I only go to schools and colleges with people who are alumni. I use people who are alumni. And so that's a really big different how it is that we move. So wait, you didn't tell us about Chu and Shelton, how long you've been doing this? Hello? Is everybody muted? Quanda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Quanda.
Yes.
Yes.
Hold on. I'm gonna go to Quanda. So Quanda, tell us about what it is that you're trying to do. And listen, y'all gotta start talking money. Put money down. Go ahead.
What am I trying to do?
Yeah.
The veterans home? Well, I'm trying to get some grants. I'm trying to get funding to back I have a few programs that I would like to input, that I would like to start. Call center. I have a wellness program. Also, since the veterans go to the VA for all of their care, they used to give out car fare, but if they're in my veterans home, I would take them and I would have them taken there and brought back. They would have their meetings or in-house meetings here, AA and A. And they will also staff the call center. It will be 24 hours that they can call in, veterans or spouses or survivors of veterans, they can call in. Since you can go online to access your benefits, that wouldn't be a problem. A lot of the veterans don't even utilize their benefits. So, and they need maybe a little gentle nudging for mental health care. So, I mean, there are a laundry list of things that I can help them do. I don't have time. I know we don't have time to go into all of them. They're listed. But just mainly I need grant funding. I mean, like you said, where I am, there's a lot of new construction going up around here, mainly on the corner where I live. They don't honor that community. What was that?
The community benefits agreement.
They're not.
Yes.
They're not.
They're not honoring it. So
Okay,
that's
right. And see, that's what the city solicitor and the city controller need. So we need to talk to them about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a block association, and we have a network around here. So we all get on Zoom, and we discuss things. They've tried to bring in they tried to change the zoning. They wanted to spring up like there are 3 stories here. They wanted to spring up 4-story and change the look of things. I mean, and we meet. And we have a person that does a lot of things at the RCO meetings. Greg Allen, he's really good. He's very dedicated. So, I mean, we try our best. I mean, they were here before I moved around here. I've been around here 20 years. So they're very active, and they're in support of my veterans home and the house that I'm trying to get. They even asked that, if they could help, and what areas I explored. So, I really would like to get that building. So I've been calling up my city council person's office. But right now there's a squatter in there. And that's really hard. That's a problem. So if anybody know anything, if anybody has any suggestions about squatters,
I will suggest this to you. One of the things that we're utilizing is something called a conservatorship, and it is effective. When you see a rundown building, you have to go to the tax review board. You're going to have to do a search for the property owner. After you fulfill all that, your city council person will work with you to obtain that property. This has been going on for years, and I'm telling you, doing this work for the last 4 years is amazing of some of the tactics that has been used by a certain group, and we're just finding out about it. So there's something that you should look into, a conservatorship, Ms. Quadale.
Yes, I called you.
well,
Okay. And now see, right, and so the interesting thing is, if y'all go to the city council office and ask them what is the process, and see if they tell you what it is that Douglas just said. So a lot of times, I go ask questions, and if they don't answer certain things, then I know that they really don't know that kind of stuff. And so if we start to do a list of what it is that you want from the office and what it is that they should know, and I think that's going to be important. Hey, Douglas, are you applying for the activities grant?
Yeah, yes, I am. It's just like a that's to support our the Yo Put the Gun Down Hip Hop Center. That's a separate program all in itself. Yeah, we are applying for that. Yes.
And so what's the most that you've ever gotten?
From that, this would be my first time applying for it. I think the max right now is at $1,000. So I don't.
No, it's 6,500.
Or 6,500. Well,
Yeah.
I know the deadline is real soon, so we got everything together. I'm just waiting for my team to submit it.
And Honda, are you gonna apply for it?
Yes, I've never applied for it, but I will apply for it.
Yeah, and so let me see. So there's a list called I think what to get from sponsors. So I'm gonna show y'all. This is the kind of stuff that yeah. I think it says in-kind giving, donations, and that. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Right there. So, right there. So look at that list. So whenever you're asking for certain things, this is a list of things to ask for. So yeah, and so the reason why I say that, so like at Penn decides every year the employees make a donation and they match it, and they decide every year where the money goes to. And a lot of organizations, they do the same thing in your community. And so so you have a Target, you have a Walmart, you have a McDonald's, you have a CVS, you have a Rite Aid, you have gasoline stations. They all give away money. You have banks. So every place where you go, you can ask the manager for their fundraising package, and they all give away money. Since we don't ask, we don't get. So we go to the casino, we go to we get on the railroad. They all give away money. Everybody gives away money. We read the daily news, they give away money. We watch the television news, they give away money. We go rent a car, they give away money. We catch an airplane, they give away money. Everybody gives away money or gives away these types of resources. And so each and every place where we go, they are giving away something, totally different. And so that's why, we have to look at anything that we can get from people, anything whatsoever. And then, so I say to everyone, there's no need for anyone ever to have to get furniture and equipment for their building organization. 3B alerts, you can get anything you want. And through Penn, you can get anything you want. So there's really no reason for us to have to look for a lot of different things. And so it's one thing that I always do. I do a report from Penn, what organizations were online, what did we learn, what did we gain, and move it forward. And so that's really important. About we talked about LaSalle, Penn, and Villanova and St. Joe's. So that means, see, I have to put this in minutes. So folks can know what it is that I'm actually doing. And so a lot of times, and I'll explain the Quanda. Whomever you talk to on the phone, please send them a letter of what y'all talked about, and then so they can say thank you. So whenever you're working on a project, they want to know who your partnership is, who you've been working with, and what's your network like. And then that's something totally different. So and so by folks going to a nonprofit, that means that you're trained. So you have to go to a training and you have to join an organization. So now when it was asked that we found out some contractors, and they will be coming from Drexel, St. Joe's, and Penn. So that's a part of our outcome. Now, who has projects coming up? Who has projects coming up?
I have a project coming up.
Go ahead. Who said? So Rashid.
Yes, my name
Rashid.
is my name is Rashid Bey,
And
St.
and
Joe's University graduate, um,
and graduate of
Penn
nonprofit institute.
nonprofit, Drexel. Uh, what is it called?
And tell them. So tell them that you're a contractor.
Yeah,
You're
and
a
I'm a
contractor.
contractor. We're right to it. Right now we collaborate with
No,
all kinds of minority contractors doing some things in the Point Breeze area. Point Breeze, great.
hello.
Go through the zoning committee. But one thing I noticed being out here in the field that there's not a lot of people that look like us, and they don't want us to really be in this field, especially now that the value is there and there's a lot of money to be made. So whatever we can do, things like this right here is just a learning platform for me. I'm taking it as that because everything that you guys share with me, I'm learning and I'm trying to figure out how to utilize it and then share the information. So one thing I wanted to ask was like, so yeah, let me tell you a little bit about my project that I'm doing. It's a single family home. What is it called? Townhomes now. That's what I heard. Yeah, we're doing a townhouse in the Grace Ferry area where there's so much gentrification and so much development because they just tore down the Vare Recreation Center and they just going to redo that whole facility. They're going to expand it, I think maybe block to block. So it's going to be one square block. It's huge. And so I have to be able to get some land in that area and be able to try to develop it. It's a game changer for just myself, my company, and my family, and my community, because a lot of people look at me as a leader, a person who.
And why so? Why so?
Why so? I think just a lot of the experiences coming. I come from where they're from. I had a lot of trouble in my youth. I overcame that. I utilized sports to get me to college and beyond.
Okay.
Played in Europe and all kinds of stuff. They see me, and also I give back. I give my time. I've been mentoring kids for 17 years in our community, so they look at me as a leader, as a resource.
Okay, so he's being modest. So Rashid is actually a international basketball superstar, a MVP all over Europe. So I just thought I would say that. So don't act like people just don't know. People just know who you are. And
That's my perspective, though. I don't look at myself like that. I look at it as I'm from the hood. I'm just my neighborhood, and I try to help.
But then also, so it's a good thing if Rashid, Douglas, and the elder get together and go over some plans. It's also a good thing if Kwanzaa and Douglas got together and went over some community benefits agreement. Now also, so it's an interesting thing. So I have Dr. Jones on the line because a lot of times we fill out grants the wrong way. So Dr. Jones, is you still on?
I'm here.
Dr. Jones. So tell us about your book about how to study and how that's applicable to writing grants.
Well, one of the things that I found, I've been working in colleges for the last 40 years, and I found that a lot of students come to college and they don't know how to study, and we end up losing a lot of them just because of that. So I decided to start to write a book for middle school, high school, first year college students on how to study so they can be more successful as they go through it. So that first semester, a lot of students, the first 6 weeks of college, you can tell whether they're going to make it, whether they're going to have challenges. And so my whole goal is to intervene so that we can have more graduates and they can do business and they can be entrepreneurs and own real estate and develop opportunities within the community, and they can do business with each other. I think that that's a critical aspect of this, is that, we spend billions of dollars or trillions of dollars, but we spend it outside of our community and not within our community, where we could create jobs by just working with one another. So, I'm always promoting that as I'm talking to students, getting them to think more deeply about how they've been blessed to have an opportunity and how they need to get back to their communities and be resources to their communities as well. I wrote another book for the parents to help the parents show the students how to do well in school, their children how to do well in school, and give them some tips and strategies of other parents who've done well with their children. And then I wrote a scholarship book to show students how to find money for college. College is very expensive these days. I mean, it's always been expensive, but you can find colleges anywhere from $40,000 to $80,000 a year these days. And so finding these scholarships and getting access to them, I think is really critical. And that's what my mission has been to do. I have turned some of the courses into online classes as well to try to reach that population that just wants to watch it from a video perspective. And then I travel around the country giving seminars to school districts, after school programs, youth groups, trying to work on a variety of these different topics around college readiness, study skills, time management, test-taking strategies, organization planning and development, all that to try to help them to be successful. And I was the first person in my family out of 6 children to go to college, so I know exactly what these students experience, and plus my 40 years on campus has shown me what students need to do to be successful.
And so some interesting thing. So I probably would get somebody from Kwanzaa's building, somebody from Ruckus Place, and see if they want to work on the project with the elder. And then I probably will reach out with a student from Villanova to see if they want to work on the project. And so we probably would have like Rashid running the project. And then it would be something educational that we could use the book How to Study. It could be educational. And then they would learn that and see how to apply for grants. And then Mr. Payne, they find we have an elder, who is giving back, who represents a success in our community. And then so those are the kind of things that we can evolve and move towards. And I'm saying, and and Rucker, he's working on a project. So now they'll have a chance to tour St. Joe's, Villanova, and Penn. That's a tour. And so that makes it something totally different. Now we don't have to outright tell them that we went to college. We don't have to outright tell them. We don't have to outright tell them that Kwanzaa, was a successful business. But they always think that we're not around and that we're not doing certain things. So anybody that works with me, it has to be 3 different career paths. So I tell them, if you can steal a car, you can fix a car. And I said, when they say go clean the yard, that's landscaping. And I say, when you wash your car, that's car detailing. And all that is really, really, really important about how we access, new and different kinds of things. At Penn, they call buildings now environmental humanities. That's what they call it. And they said that if your community is dirty and polluted, that's injury science. And so they're teaching us a lot of things. So a lot of that has to be put into grants. So this language is different. So Mr. Payne, are you a entrepreneur? Are you a philanthropist?
No, I'm not a philanthropist.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just really kind of remorseful for some opportunities that I missed during my working career, and I just see that there are some young minds that want to do some things, and I believe we can help facilitate how they can put some things together and get some things done. The mention of Chew and Chelton, I'm wondering if there is something that could center around perhaps that corner, but go down a couple of streets. I think we shouldn't limit ourselves to a single project. I think we need to take some territory and really said, we're going to take these 2 blocks, or we're going to take this section. We're going to do some planning, and we're going to move some people into some residential housing, and we're going to put some businesses, particularly designed for maybe some who are established but want to expand, or maybe there's more work that needs to be done on the facility itself than they're willing to do in that site. I think we really ought to go after a small development area and say, we're going to do something with these 2 blocks, or these something.
I just want to applaud you because
all right, and then so hold on. So hold on, Rashid, hold on. Right, so that's how come I'm gonna have the State Commissioner of Commerce look at that kind of stuff. Now, so the reason why I stopped it. So Kwanda.
Yes.
So Rashid did some research on that building next to yours, and it was so interesting how they Rashid explained to him like how they did the loans and the back payments. How were they able to do that? How'd you find out?
Yeah, I know a lot of people in banking, and I don't know how. It seems like everyone loves basketball, and somehow I'm connected to helping youth. But they basically lost the property. I mean, it's a little more detailed than what I'm going to say now. I'm just going to say it in layman's terms. They lost the property. They got it foreclosed on. The bank acquires the property. It goes into a portal or a pot of foreclosed homes, and the bank can just sell these homes, or somebody can pick up the loan. They can take over the loan, and that's what it looked like. That's what it looked like they did. First, I thought they foreclosed, and then the bank sold it. That wasn't the case. I think they may have went into bankruptcy, and then somebody maybe walked them through that. Just filed bankruptcy. It stops the foreclosure. All right, I'll give you some money, and then here, let me take over the loan. You sign it over to me. That's what it looked like it did, because it is a huge property. And I was like, why does property sell for this little bit of money? And so it looked like they just picked up that, they acquired that debt, and then they closed it out like that.
Right, and then so
I hope that's clear too.
And then, but also like so when they picked up they picked up the loan, and didn't you say the only thing they're paying is like $300 a month?
Yeah. So then yep.
And so that is, something that, we have to, when we go around and look at, different kinds of communities, we have to look at the process of how people are able to do this kind of stuff.
Rashid.
Yes.
So the people that you found out this information from, actually, what happens is, the owners, they did a reverse mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah. They did a reverse mortgage.
So the owner, so they were older.
Yeah.
Okay, they must have been an older group of people to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, they did the reverse mortgage, and then it was 3 heirs.
Okay.
They didn't want it.
Okay.
But I mean, what you said was interesting, because like I've been trying to find out some information about it. It's been empty for like 4 years.
Okay.
All right. And then so I think eventually, you know, I made Rashid go to school. So Rashid, what you studying in school? What you studying in school?
What did I say?
But I want to I still want to obtain the property though. It's not sold.
Yeah.
It's not sold because they have a squatter in it.
Okay, all right. No, hold on. Now we don't know if it's not sold.
Yes, I do.
Okay, no, hold on. So this is what I'm saying. When we say certain things, just so that I can learn. When you said that based upon, I searched it on this, and it says that it's not sold. You know, so that's what I'm saying. Eventually, I'm going to start using words that, you know, we can find out what was this here process. So if you say that it's not sold, what source do you have on that?
Bank. I called the bank that held the mortgage that they when they didn't want to honor the agreement for the reverse mortgage, it took them like, because it was COVID, it took like 2 years to go to court for them in the Zoom meeting. So I'm still in touch with the people, the heirs. So they gave me the information, the attorneys, the bank. So the bank, the loan was guaranteed by HUD, right? So they got their money, and then it goes over to another entity, bunch of names, but it was actually another bank that backed it. And what happened? The title was just, it wasn't tangled, but it just got cleared in September 22. So I got the information, and there was a management company. It was a management company because the neighbors complained about the grounds because they grow really high around here. And when it came out, I got the information. So called the property management company, and along with the bank. And then the bank gave me some information. And,
okay, Quandra, so do you have paperwork on that?
No, hold on. No.
Paperwork on what?
No. What she's saying, it could be true. I'm gonna say this though. When anyone does a mortgage, which is a death agreement, a mortgage, what happens is, as soon as you sign your name on that mortgage and you walk out that room, they get their money. So all the money that they're acquiring for the next 30 and 15, 20 years, whatever the agreement is, that's just extra for them. So the way that I explained it, because I saw it, Maurice sent me the link. I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay. But if they didn't lose it, how was they selling it? Because it was for sale when he sent it to me. I was like, "That's for sale."
Somebody put that. I did a little more researching, and someone had gotten back to me. So when I got back in touch with the bank, it's not sold.
You may be able to get the property because they have something called I think it's called REOs or something like that. It's like basically homes that was repossessed. Yeah. And the bank holds them like that. So I don't know the actual particulars of it. The process told me that probably happened.
Well, Rashid, can you take my information and get in touch with me?
Sure.
Okay, sure. All right. And now, no, Quandra. So,
yes.
Rucker, you said look at what list?
It's thinking Philadelphia Private Tech, but there's a lawyer that practices in Philadelphia for reverse mortgage. But these are some of the issues that I really deal with. and I'm gonna put his name and contact information in the chat. What he does is that a lot of times when this reverse mortgage takes place, the bank really don't want to give the family the opportunity to assume it because they want the property. But there's a lawyer in Philadelphia, and I do have his business card, but I'm going to put it in the chat. I would advise you to contact him because I have a friend who went through the same thing. His mother passed away, and you know, he had to go through the process, but he in fact did get his mother's house back, some type of arrangement with the bank on that particular mortgage. So I'm going to look through my phone because I always take pictures of business cards. I don't have time to write down the information, but I'm going to put it in a chat for you, and that will be one follow-up that you guys can investigate.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right.
So,
Now,
can I ask one more question before I lose it?
Kind of, hold on. So what I'm going to be asking is that everything that you talk about, I need to have the paperwork, and everything that Rashid talks about, I'm gonna have the paperwork. So if you talk to investors, it's not a conversation. Everything has to be done in writing of the process of what this here has taken. You know, and so go ahead, Squanah, go ahead.
Has anyone ever heard of the blighted property in the city of Philadelphia?
Yeah,
It's
I heard
mostly located in West Philadelphia.
What did you say, Douglas?
It's mostly those. They have something called zone in West Philly, and it is actually near Grays Ferry, where it's something zone. I have to look it up, but West Philadelphia is really a place to be and to do development, especially African Americans, because they are just playing us as if we don't know. But I would have to look it up. There is the private area, and it's located. The boundary is West Philadelphia and a little bit of part of North Philadelphia, but it's definitely West Philadelphia. I'll look it up for you and email it to Dr. Henderson for you guys.
All right. Now also, so the State Commissioner of Commerce, I never knew what commerce is cemeteries, vacant lots, and vacant buildings, and abandoned houses. So that's what it is that he does. But and so that's under the Commerce Department. So now we have to look at what the Personal and Wills does, what the City Controller does, and what the City Solicitor does. And I'm saying that, you know, when we do this, that's how when you go to a councilman, state rep, state senator, let it speak for itself. Let everything speak for itself. And so don't complain, just go ask questions. You know, so I just learned about the word blight, and I just learned about commerce, and I just learned about the Department of Revenue. So a lot of us know a lot of things, you know, just from different words. So Rucker, so we are moving we're moving on West Philadelphia, and I guess we're gonna be moving on the Germantown area. So I know the state reps and all of them, but I'm saying when we go, we have to go. We can't be going by say he said, she said, so and so said. You know, and then, you know, when we go, you know, like especially in the Germantown area, you know, we got to say that we're looking for a potential investor who wants to do this. But now he says that he talking about a block. Wow, and that could be like a factory. You gotta look at what's a block. Rucker, what's a block? Behind your house?
The Payne said that I was trying to try to get some contact information, but in where I'm at, it's considered according to the city planning, Philadelphia 2035. Stewart Shelton is now considered a pink area, which means growth area. I have an actual map of it. So a lot of the properties that are owned on that 5600 block and down to the 55 are African American owned. The problem is tangled entitlement, and the other one is that the lack of organization as a business district because there is capital funding available. This is that education part that you talk about, Dr. It is about educating the community of what is available to them and what they have a right to. And that is probably the hardest task that I have had in my life, for people to believe that this is your stuff. So one of the things I did, I bought an old dentist office. I'm still paying on it, personally out of my pocket. And this dentist office, we are renovating starting in September, but we're implementing a NASA, the actual NASA STEM program, going to be facilitated there. But that is like, to us, the cornerstone of what's happening. Because a lot of the businesses that are operated here are operated by Arabs, by Africans, by Asians. And there's only maybe one or two or maybe four businesses in this entire community is owned by and operated by African Americans. And we're talking about a predominantly Black community right now.
Okay,
so
but Rucker, he said a block. Do you know of a block that's available?
The only block I'm really, to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to be very, sarcastic. The only block I'm really concerned about is the 5600 block to the 5500 block of Chew Avenue, and it's bordered by 700 to 800 block of Shelton Avenue.
But how many houses are available?
We're talking right now vacant commercial property. We're talking at least 40. I would say a little less, a little less than that, maybe about, I would say take off 10, about 30.
But what about that property down the street from your house?
That property down the street from my house, you talking about that corner house?
No, that across the street from you, down the street and across the street. That the whole
you
vacant.
talking about from my office?
No, your house. I'm talking about down.
Oh, you talking about that vacant lot that is owned by a developer by the name of Moshe Atlia. They're getting ready to propose a civic review, and they're supposed to be having that meeting in like the next month or so, and a civic design review, and that's going to be hosted with the community and the RCOs, and then after they approve the building, the facade of the building, then Moshe and them will start actually building. But again, one of the things that you said, Doctor, is so true, is that one of the things that we have to be written is that they do hire a 30% African American, or they say Black and brown workforce, and that is in the 19144, 19138 area. Those are for apprenticeship, apprenticeship employment, though, not just general labor.
And so Rashid.
Yes, I'm here.
So you know Kenneth is in the 19144. You know that, right?
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so this.
What happened in the 19144? Is that like what happened to what is it called? Jumpstart Germantown? What happened to that program? Upstart Germantown?
Jumpstart is I could just tell you all because I deal with this stuff every day. That's Ken Weinstein, and Ken Weinstein is it's like a wishy-washy thing to him because he has actually taken over Wayne Junction. I mean, they're doing some wonderful development up there, but again, it is gentrification and displacement because a lot of the Blacks who lived in those big homes, they got some big homes over there. They have been forced out of their home because of what gentrification brings on. So, in one aspect, he's doing good, and the other aspect, he's moving our people out. So I don't think that is good.
Right. Yeah, not at all.
All right. So a question: what's the range for affordable housing? Because when you start saying $100,000, you gotta be making like 30, 40,000. So affordable housing is directed towards who? Elderly, Mr. Payne, when you said affordable housing, what do you mean by affordable housing?
I mean, housing that in the thing that I was talking about for a typical townhouse, 3 bedrooms, a bath and a half. We're talking about up to $160,000, but it could be as low as like 120. And I mean, these would be renovated properties.
Okay, all right. So like in certain areas, they have like in the Northeast, they have like on the corner, they have a townhouse, and you go up, that's one thing. Then the basement is allowable for a black business. Would that be in your range, like a barber shop, that kind of stuff? Would that be in your range, your idea?
Sure.
So here in South Philly, they just built like a big shared condo, and the first floor is a community center. So I was just asking, so that would be a community benefit that it is that we're trying to do. So and the whole thing about this is we have to. So I'm gonna make sure that I have all this in paperwork. So we have to make sure that everything is done in paperwork, and that is just really my concern. And then so a lot of times, every 5 years the word change. So if he says affordable, I have to go online and look at all the terminology for affordable. And then I have to put that in the grant. So I have to look at all of the terminology. Blight, civic stuff. So and then that's very important, because don't play around with people who are not of color, because they will, like I said, working for the Department of Education, and these people got masters and doctors. I decline them all of them, because they didn't follow the rules, and that's what I'm saying. How to study is really important, because that's how you write grants. You have to study, and you have to figure things out. So I have a whole list of things that it is that you have to do. And so like Mr. Payne, he's a for the nonprofits, he's a good guy to have on your advisory board. So is Dr. Jones. And so that's what I'm saying. So if you want to learn about curriculums, if you want to learn about different things, so that's what I'm saying. At Drexel, at LaSalle, at St. Joe's and Penn, you can take these courses. You don't have to take any tests whatsoever, and these courses can go towards your degree. And I always say that everyone needs to be a part of an organization, and that organization needs to have a publication, just so that you know what's going on. And you have to have, so college students are the people who have the best ideas. That's how come they get paid so much. So Penn and Drexel, and I don't know if LaSalle, they're offering college interns, but I know that Penn Civic House is offering interns. So they basically is going to give you a staff for 3 months. So which is really important. So this is the major thing. Jabari Jones runs West Philadelphia. He says you have to have a board of directors. You have to have a executive board. You have to have had so you have to have had minutes from your executive board, from your board of directors and executive board. So you can't say in May that you want to apply for a grant, and you just had executive board meeting and the minutes, and you didn't ask your executive board. You can't apply for it. And then that's where the money is. So he's really strict. So he's saying, so you can't say I spoke to this person or that person. Everything has to be done by email. I mean, and not by cell phone. So it has to be, very, very succinct. So whomever you have a conversation with, that means that is person that you may be seeking partnership or collaboration with. And then, that's really, really, really important. And so I always say, whenever you all talk, you got to talk money. So you guys say, my goal for this year is $100,000. My goal for this year is this. You got to just put money out there. You guys hear me?
Yes, I hear
Hello?
you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Mr. Payne,
Yes, sir.
when would you be willing to and Rucker?
Sir.
I'm gonna
Yes,
get you
sir.
for what you saying. Now what you say? The only block you worried about? What 2 blocks is that?
Well, that's because I the 5600 block of true. Again, we'll be meeting with the president of LaSalle University. I think his schedule is for next month. School is out, and some state senators. Because again, I'm going to tell you, if we're talking about organizing, if you're not organized, if you're not coming as a united front, it's going to wash over your head. And that's what I deal with in my community, is trying to get them to know the importance of organizing. They allow these people to come in and open up smoke shops, anything in our community without us having any input. Yet we have to fight for everything. We got to go through something. I just put it up there, the Empowerment Zone Program. They're in West Philadelphia, and it's real. But they're not giving out this information. I had to really fight for what I'm letting you know right now. And so I'm just concerned about the 5600 block of Chew Avenue, 5500 block, because those areas I know for a fact that they're coming. And we should have a right to dictate what we want in our building. Yet they will not allocate the money to us unless we are a Chew and Shelton business district or whatever. We have to be a business district. Point blank, period.
Wait. All right. So, it's not that they will not allocate. A lot of folks in these offices shouldn't be there. They're there because of friendship. And then so a lot of times when I write an RFP, I actually write a grant. And so when I write grants, you can move that from one grant to another. But it's a different kind of, like, so if I was doing a grant with Mr. Payne, I would do health and human services, labor and industries, the chamber of commerce, the humanities, and the residents. Those are 5 different government departments. And then that's how I would cross it over. I may have to change the language. So that's federal. And then they also state, and there's local. That's called cross fertilization. Our people don't do that. Our people don't that's something very, very different about how you move from one thing to another. And then it's not as though that they won't do certain things for us. They're not used to us collaborating, thinking, and put everything down in paper. I don't have conversations. I put things down in paper. And then so I can say things like, well, based upon Forbes dictionary, y'all reading, y'all figure it out. Get out of my face. Or based upon the study from Wharton, and then so that's something totally different. And being able to cite books, being able to cite training, is really, really, really important. There is I call this our greatest moment. And just knowing that thing is going to change. So I said, please don't complain. We're not going to complain. We're not going to blame. We're going to see how it is that we can move this here thing forward in a different kind of way. And so that's what is important to us. That if so, who's going to be working with who and why? So who's gonna be working with who and why? Y'all talking? Who's gonna be working with who and why?
I don't see why not. We can all exchange information. I mean, even if my company, even if, I'm working with veterans, I still might have some context that, the other guys might need.
Miss Kwan, are you located in West Philly also?
Yeah, I'm right here at, you know what 63rd and Malvern is?
Yes, I do. That's my son attended the school, Overbrook School for the Blind. I'm very familiar
Okay.
with it. Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
right around the corner, right off of where the trolley barn turns.
Yeah, I know exactly where it's at.
I'm
Yes,
right
ma'am.
there at the block, 62nd.
Okay.
Okay. So I asked for specifics. Who's gonna be working with who and why?
I would love to connect with. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would love to connect with Mr. Ronnie, because this is so it's not even coincidence, providence that this gentleman kind of is talking about something that I talk about every day, especially the 1914438. And it was just amazing when I got on there, and that's the first person I heard. And I said, my God, he's talking the same thing that I'm talking about. So I'm trying to get his contact information if he would allow. And this is what he would be a part of. I'm going to be honest with you.
Absolutely. I want to really focus initially on residential housing. That's what I want to focus on, because I know how to go after and I don't worry about funding. I can get money for residential housing without any questions, other than, do you have the right contractors, and are we doing things that are properly licensed and all of that kind of thing. But I'm ready to talk about housing. And if we, if there's a certain area that we really want to have some business spots as well, then we can talk about how to facilitate the acquisition or leasing or whatever of businesses. But my first focus really is on residential housing.
All right, and so this is what I'm saying. So that's why if a letter comes from the state commissioner on commerce, who's up in DC once a month, and if it comes from the Secretary of Education and the Director of Human Rights, so those who I know in the state, so it's going to be a different kind of level about how it is that we move, and so when I ask who's going to work with who, that's a think tank. In a think tank, you have to have results, and then so what it is that I'm saying. So what I want to have happen is Mr. Payne works with Rashid. Rashid works with and then we get back to Rucker, and then we get back to Kenneth Johnson, who is in that area. And Rucker, I'm trying to tell you, the alumni from LaSalle is Maurice Houston, who Rashid knows. So I think that's a good idea. In West Philadelphia, I am the majority inspector of elections. So I have the whole West Philadelphia area mapped out. And then, so I can ask the commerce person about the property next door. I can ask them about the property in Germantown and give me a specific report. He's also on the Pennsylvania Democratic Committee. So I can get a specific report. You know, and then so you know, when you talk about blocks and areas, it's really important. So you have corridors, you know. So if you're looking at certain areas, you may be looking at like trying to rename it, like the Roxanne Jones Thruway, the Roxanne Jones Business District. You know, and then that's something totally different about how you name. You know, so we got Point Breeze, we got Germantown, and then whatever you do, you have to know the history of that area. And
You
that's
know,
going to be. Would you say?
I do want to say something too, that that in this particular area, you talk about housing. There is so many abandoned properties surrounding the Chew and Shelton CDC. I mean the Chew and Shelton Business Quarter, and these housings are being bought in the bulk by LaSalle University and outside developers. This is why I'm saying, although my concentration is really on the business quarter because there's a specific reason, but there is this grand opportunity to, and these are some of these homes are baby mansions that they are available. It's just that the people are caught up in that their parents left it. They didn't leave a deed. So the powers that be takes advantage of this. And then they come in and swap up. I mean, on the 5500 block of Coastal, they bought up 5 houses right next door to you. So that's what I'm saying. Yes. So we need to look in that also.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
well, let me.
Hold on. All right. So that's under state trusts and wills, and then so that's important. You know, so even if you obtain a house, you've got to explain to them that okay, now they're gonna get like $100 or a couple $100 a month, and then you also put that in trust, and then so if that goes in trust, they maybe have that money for 20 years if it's invested right. So Rashid and I know we have the financial literacy project from PEM that will teach you how to invest it. And then you know what you got to do. I'm just trying to tell you, you got to have a plaque and name it in their family name, and have a bench outside and put a plaque on that bench so that they know that it's important. And then you also you got to write down questions that they should ask. And you know, so well, what about this and what about that? So I said cash, money, banking, savings, commerce. It's a learning tool, you know, for them. And then it is something totally different. And then, you know, so if you don't trust me, well, Miss Ann down the street, she did it, and she bailed her son out. I'm kidding y'all, but you know, and I'm saying so that is something that we have to teach them about enlightenment. So I got it. Yeah, I got it. I got you.
Let me address
and,
that.
and then but you know, and then that's a tool that has to go to the block captains. And then you know, so let's
wait.
Right.
Were you talking about the tangled title issue?
No. About if your property has taxes or you have loans, and so that's what I'm saying. I'm willing to
he was just saying that about the deed situation. That's a tangled title.
Yeah, and they got funding for they actually have funding for to help people get this tangled titlement. Again, it goes back to trying to educate your community. One thing I really believe in now, if the community does not have one focused vision and a mission, it's not going to work. So you got to try to get all. I like my job is really like every day is trying to get my community, and I'm getting closer and closer and closer. That the vision and the mission is the same for us to retain our properties so that we can have have control of them and dictate what we want in them. So that there is actual funding available for people to help them with their tangled title. And they don't know. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Go
interrupt.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay.
The register of wills, Tracy Gordon.
Yes.
She has the community college and legal help for free legal help just for
Right.
tangled titles and helping people get their deeds straightened out. It's free.
What is it called again, Miss Cordell? What is it called again?
The
Register of Wills office.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So one of the things that we may need to
Maurice,
explain.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Answer.
Hold on. I gotta move in the process. One of the things that I may want to do is y'all tell me all the city offices that you all work for, and then I will explain to them in a different way. I never knew what the Register of Wills did. I don't know anything about no word deed, and so I'm saying, so a lot of these words that you all are using, you got to be able to explain these to people. So I'm saying I'm probably gonna look at every office, and y'all tell me what y'all got from the office. So now I'm moving towards outcomes now. All right, go. I gotta do outcomes. Go ahead. Because and I'm saying so, and like a lot of times when you use words, let's not act like we all know what those words mean. Because I ain't got a house. I don't know what deed means. But go ahead.
Well, the Register of Wills office, she's actually one on that platform, but they actually have free legal help for the people. They're living in their great grandparents' home, and the deeds weren't straightened out, but they have free legal help. That's it. It's so plain and simple.
All right. So
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question. And I'm sorry for coming late, but I didn't catch everyone's name. But the gentleman was just talking about obtaining houses. And it just made a light go off in my head because I have investors that want to do exactly that, along with helping veterans. So if these homes could be purchased at a, let's say, less than market value, I got people that are really interested in that. Really interested in that. Yes.
Who's that? Who's that speaking?
Rashid.
That's Rashid.
Oh, Rashid.
Yeah.
So question. So are you saying that the house next door, the crime that got purchased, less than market value?
No,
I didn't say that.
No. I'm asking Rashid. Rashid, is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that it got purchased. They gave me scenarios with that house. That's why I said 2 or 3 different things. Because you wanted me to do a quick search on it. I just call the people I know. But I'm saying that stuff like this, with dealing with banks, dealing with investors, and we want to, and they're Black investors. They look like us.
good.
And they want to help people that look like us. And of course, they want to make some money on it. But if we can purchase these homes, or let's say acquire them in a legal way, I have people that would be really interested in it. Really interested in it.
Okay.
And again,
but
they want to do
Rashid,
some things for veterans as well. Yes.
Okay. But Rashid, you were telling me like the trickery that they did next to the Kronda, that was less than market value. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah. They got it less than market value because they must have been paying on the loan. Something was going on where they had to be paying a bit. I don't know. Like
Okay. Let me piggyback on that.
Is huge. So I was like, wow, this is a big old house. It must be worth a lot of money. And then when I saw like I think they had it up for sale. It said 130 something. And I was like, damn, that's cheap.
No, it said on Zillow it said 165, right? But that was not true.
Okay.
That wasn't true. But you're right. The information was out there.
Yeah.
And I called them up. And they said no, property is not sold.
Right.
So now
so again, that goes back to me saying it was a quick search, and I just saw it on Zillow. That's how I got a
Right,
link.
because that's
And I-
what, you know,
And that's
right,
crazy.
right.
That's
because,
crazy that they can put that out there like that.
Right, because the block did the information, and they came up with it, and they were like, hey, wait a minute. How
Right.
can that go for that amount? That the house is right next door to, that's my twin. Right
Yeah.
next to me.
And it has a big front yard too. I remember I'm the guy who got the encyclopedias from you that time.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So
And-
I remember that big old house. It was a corner lot, right? Oh, was it on the corner? I think it was.
Yeah, that's right
Yeah,
next to
big
mine.
lot.
That's my twin.
And
Yeah.
so Kwanzaa, I asked Rashid if they got it for less than market value, if we can get an investor to come in and give it above.
You're late.
what
You're
they
late.
asked for.
We just said that it wasn't sold. It was not
No,
sold.
no, okay, no, but I'm saying, whatever information that, like, unless I see it in writing, that's something totally different. So I need to know its exact status in writing, and then so
And writing
that's
from whom?
so
writing from
that's what you
whom?
can show to investors, and then what's market value and what's this and that, and then so basically, so Rashid, didn't you say that based on your records it was sold? Oh no,
That's what it said on Zillow.
That's what it says on Zillow.
That's what it
has
says
false
on Zillow.
Zillow has false information all the time.
Don't even mess with Zoom.
Right.
Go
Yeah.
to, I'm telling you, search on the property of city property tax review of property search. And make sure you hit that website, and it will tell you anything you want to know about a property.
Okay. And then,
So my thing is real quick for how do you pronounce your name? I don't say it.
Kwanda.
Kwanda. Okay. So for me, for you and I, like, and whomever else be interested, that property next to yours, it's like you want to do something with veterans.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to partner up with people? Because that would probably be a make it go, if that makes sense.
And partner up with you how? Like,
well, so you have an organization, right? You have a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
You looking for housing for a center or something for veterans, right?
Yes.
So these people, I know that it's an investment of time, resources, but also the government allotted monies to help the veterans.
Right.
So therefore, if they get you a facility, that means you'll be making money from it. If it makes sense to them, they would get you a facility. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, hold on.
That's how that would be.
No, Rashid, that's not how it goes. How it goes, if you apply to the government for like $500,000, you have to have a partner that made 1.5, and then the person on the project has to have clear credit. And then so you have to make sure, and then it has to be broken down where it is that you're going to do per person, the demographic, and then also
roles and goals.
Right. And then also you have to make sure that something in that building is income making. You have to make sure. So you just can't keep getting money from the government. So you have to have something that's income making.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If he has a desire to help veterans, he can find the information out. The grant writers will find the information out. All you have to have is a willingness to want to help.
Okay, no, that's not okay.
So I already did a little research. I didn't mention this part. I already did a little research with one investor in mind about veteran housing. So they have things going on where there's a need for veteran housing.
Yes.
They have a criteria, and I did some of it. But veterans that word in itself, it encompasses so many different things. because veterans need a lot of services, and the government is willing, and they have put money aside, allotted money, allocated money for those services. The thing is, a lot of them they have mental illness and they don't go and get the services. So you have shelters who take them in, get them their IDs, help them get a access card, health card, and then they start getting. They might even get their money and they distributed the money to them, or they pay the bills. There's so many things that go under that umbrella of veteran and veteran services.
All right.
Huge.
All right.
Go ahead.
So, see, so I work for the federal government, and what it is that I'm trying to explain to you all, that income accruing. So that means income accruing, like, so they have a computer room, but in the computer room, you teach them how to fix computers, and then that's a skill set that gives them a job that may give them the potential of not depending upon government or going to a different income bracket. Or in the building, you also have a barbershop, and where people cut hair. So so I'm trying to explain to you all that this thing works differently. And then on your board, you have to have an accountant, you have to have an educator, and you have to have accountant and an engineer. So you have to have professionals on your board to get certain things across. And then they are not playing with us about getting certain things done. And then whatever you do in your building, house built, it has to last for 25 years. And then so the rules are very, very different. So I say, okay, you can get money from Health and Human Services, Department of Education, Department of Labor, the Chamber of Commerce, and also the veterans. That's how it has to go. So you can get money from all three of them whatsoever. And then, so for an example, Mr. Payne funds the program. And then some of the veterans that work, they also live in the facility. And then they also being able to go around and fix other places. But then also, they have to have learned certain things. Like, so if a person has mental illness and they're used to going in to institution 3 times a year, if they're going only once, you save the government money. That's the kind of stuff that they're looking at about, what it is that you're teaching and learning and bringing forth. And it's called intellectual disabilities. And so that's what it is that I'm saying. So we have to be very, very careful about what it is that we're saying and or doing. So it's called community access mapping. What's going on in our community? How many residents do we have in our community? So if we only have in a 5-block radius, if we only have eight veterans, why would I give you money for 10 residents? Unless you say in the nearby vicinity. So don't do anything near where everyone else has a veteran. So we got to find out where the veteran money is coming from. So that's what I'm saying. I just try to explain that to you all, because
I don't have to find out where the veteran money is coming from. Grant writers do that.
No. Okay.
I'm interested in the humanitarian side.
Okay.
That's
all
what
right.
people get paid for.
No.
And they get a percentage of your money.
All right.
So
all right.
All you have to do is provide housing. The VA provides everything else. They go there for health and physical, dental, and mental health. They give them vouchers. They pay $60-something a day to house the vouchers. There shouldn't be any homeless veterans, but they are. They lie. They said, well, it's not. But there are.
Right.
They have emergency housing.
All right.
So what do you? Why do you have to make things so technical?
Okay, because
somebody has a willingness to help. That's a humanitarian.
Okay. Listen. All right.
Everybody else get paid for it, for that technical stuff.
All right. So a lot of times, when it comes to federal grants, that's not their job to look up certain things. That's
Yes, it
your
is.
board. No,
Yes,
no,
it is.
no. Can I please finish? Okay, and then so on federal grants, that's how come they want to make sure that you have certain people on your board. So if you have an educator, so the educator says, based upon this report, and then that goes to the grant writer, and so that's how come. So Jabari is so crazy. He said something like, "Don't apply for any grants unless you got a person on your board that can reference the grant." So
That's not true.
okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so I can send it at you all. But so and Jabari got 50 million last year, and so he basically runs the finances. Him and the West Philadelphia Financial Services. And then so this is what I'm saying. Instead of challenging me, the question
I'm not
becomes,
challenging you. I am not challenging you
okay,
at
all right.
all.
So all
You're
right,
taking
so
it. You're taking it that way.
no. Okay.
I'm a
So okay.
female, and I'm
Okay.
this is a
Okay.
boys' club.
I
This
always
is what I
said,
have to deal with all the
okay.
time. I'm
Okay.
not.
So, all right. So in my email, I said, let's not make statements. Let's ask questions. And then, so I'm saying, in working for the federal government, and I sent everybody that sent me a grant, I sent it all back because they were not in compliance whatsoever. And so that's what it is that I'm saying. And then so I'm talking about federal grants, and we are not winning federal grants at different kinds of level. And federal grants they go from 3 to 5 to 10 years. And then what the major thing is, the reporting is really, really, really serious. And then in order to have a federal grant, you need to have $100,000 credit line. Gotta have a credit line.
I will put my house up.
That's not a credit line, is it?
Oh, yes, it is.
No, you can use it.
No, it's not.
But you wouldn't even have to do that. You wouldn't have to do that with people that I know. I mean, like I said, I've been introducing these investors, friends, to lending institutions that's willing to give them, because they have credibility through their track record with their companies, where they're going to get a line of credit that's crazy. So that's why I said the partnership, if it made sense to both sides, to just try to bring that together. But I think Dr. Henderson is really talking about or referencing grants that cover a particular thing, and I don't know anything about that. When you said housing, that's the thing that stood out to me, because that's the thing that I'm interested in, and I try to stay
That's what I'm doing.
in that wheelhouse. So yeah, so I think that like I said, I know a little bit. I'm getting educated every day. I'm talking to veteran affairs people. I'm talking to them people, and I'm trying to figure out how to become a part of their
to the VA website and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the VA website and subscribe. So they have a whole they have what's her name? She's the executive director of the homelessness program, and they dedicate the grants and vouchers, and they give you a list. They give you a list of where the money is going to, and apply for it.
Okay, and award it. My thing is to be excellent and exemplary. My thing is to be the government and white folks at all levels. I don't practice them not getting a grant and asking me, and then going to them and ask them, well, what did I do wrong? So that's what it is that I'm saying. We have to be above standard at all times, and not be doing what other folks are doing, saying what it is that they are saying. Now that's my Ivy League training. So one question is, everybody should belong to two organizations. Tell me what two organizations that you all belong to.
I belong to the Elks and the Veterans Foreign Wars Affairs. They're
Okay.
auxiliary.
No, I'm really asking Mr. Payne because he's not telling us where he got that money from. Would you hit the lottery?
No, you're talking about organizations that I belong to. Tabernacle Baptist Church.
Oh, okay, fine, okay.
But the organization that I'm really pushing is the Lee Arnold System of Real Estate that provides the funding and all the other stuff. I'm telling you, I'm not worried about the money.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Whoa, that's what I'm talking about, Mr.
I got
Payne.
you. I got you. I got you.
That's what I'm
So I
talking about.
need Rashid's number because I gotta go. I have another meeting and
What church
Rashid-
was that? What church was that, Mr. Payne?
Enon Tabernacle.
Oh, cool.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
I
got you.
Rashid, can you give me a number, phone number?
Sure, it's 215
Uh-huh.
740
740?
740
Mhm.
7297.
Okay, I'll give you a call tomorrow.
I appreciate it. Yep,
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you.
So long,
Nice.
everybody. We'll talk again, I'm sure.
Okay, have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, it's just you and I?
No, Maurice is still on there.
Oh,
What? All right, right. So wait,
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure that everybody. So we're not gonna stay long. I got it. So I think I'm gonna have Zoe. This is gonna be on audio and video. And then I'm also gonna have Zoe.
you gonna send out the link? You gonna send out the recording?
Zoe?
You know you can send out the recording.
Yes, yeah, I've got this all recording.
Yeah.
All
How
right.
do
so,
we get it?
I'll send it to Maurice and then he can distribute it. Is that all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
all right. And then what I did, the paperwork, what I just did is the agenda for the meeting. So it's very, very, very professional for the, and then I would do the outcomes for it. And I would do the background of all the organizations. I would step in and do that. So in Penn's terms, this is called social innovation and social impact and social engineering. That's Penn terms. So it's just really good. Just having this here conversation. Now I don't know if this was a short sleeve conference, a mini conference, but I have to name it something, really, really important. And then I would do the outcomes about what it is that I wish that we all could have happen for $10 million. I'll do the outcomes. All right, y'all?
Does everybody have their information on there? Their email addresses?
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Okay. It's not like we can get each other's business cards.
No. So I would do that. And remember, except for Mr. Payne, you all have been to the Rotunda. So I really, really want to thank you all for this here meeting. All right, y'all? Zoe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let
Adios.
me